Have you ever wondered how it feels to be alone in a city infested with zombies? Danger in every corner. Ammunition running low. Constantly struggling for survival. Imagine all the thoughts, fears, feelings. So, let's tell this story a little different. Let's experience Resident Evil 2. The year was 1998, a rainy day in September. Welcome to my first day as a police officer. I was on the road to Raccoon City, ready to report for duty. It was pouring, like God wanted to flood the earth. I had no clue what nightmare awaited me. You know, just another day at the end of the world.
No one's around?
From the moment I got out of that car, I knew something wasn't right.
That's weird.
I don't know about you, but the last thing I want to see on a shitty day is a trail of blood leading to a gas station. But that's why I'd become a police officer in the first place, right? So there was only one way to go. One thing to do.
Hello? Anybody there?
I didn't like the shrieking door, nor the mayhem inside.
Something's not right.
My shallow footsteps on broken glass and scattered bags of chips. And the sound of trouble.
You alright? Don't move. I'll be back for you. Hey, what are you doing?
I approached the grunting. Prepared for anything, but surely not for what I was about to witness.
Stop moving.
Officer, you need help?
Stay back, sir. I got this.
Freeze! I'll shoot! Fuck you.
3 bullets to the head to kill one guy. Didn't seem right. Still doesn't. But looking back now, it was just the first glimpse of the hellish nightmare I was stumbling into. My heart was returning to normal speed as I circumvented the corpses trying to find a way out. Grabbing a well-worn key from an even more worn-out whiteboard.
No way. This can't be.
When that thing I shot down started to rise again, I started running. Unlocked the door out. Only led deeper into hell.
What the?
Undead corpses all around. And out of nowhere, a girl.
Don't shoot!
Get down!
Saved her life. For the moment at least.
You alright?
Yeah, I think so. Thanks.
You can thank me later, when we're safe.
Holy shit.
It felt like Armageddon had struck Raccoon City. An undead army approaching like an unstoppable wall of rotting flesh. Our only chance was that police car.
Hold on.
Tires almost lost grip as we sped towards the highway. Towards the city.
What the hell is going on?
I don't know. Hopefully they'll have some answers at the police station.
Wait, you're a cop?
Yeah, Leon Kennedy. You are?
Claire. Claire Redfield.
Live around here?
No. I'm looking for my brother. He's a cop too.
Well, it's a good thing we found each other. I don't know what to expect anymore.
Raccoon City, home of Umbrella. An international conglomeration with influence in pharmaceutics, industrial production, and transportation. We had no clue that this flourishing city was about to see its darkest days. The streets were flooded with endless rain. The traffic had come to a full stop. The sophisticated subway system was only a lifeless shadow of itself. The angels had fled Raccoon City. It's like the biblical flood had washed away everything good. And the unfortunate leftovers were just waiting for doomsday to arrive. In a city that never slept, but wouldn't wake up to see another sunrise. Because of an evil lurking inside. A resident evil, too. Back to 1998, September 29th, when I still had a hope.
Attention all citizens. Due to the citywide outbreak, you are advised to take shelter at the Raccoon City Police Station. Free food and medical supplies will be provided to everyone in need.
God, this is so unreal.
Police station's not much farther. They'll know something.
Yeah, but what if we're the only ones? What if there's no
No,
survivors?
they're survivors. It's a big city. There has to be.
Our safe ride came to an end at a roadblock in the middle of the wasted street.
Looks like we're walking from here.
More undead feasted on a human corpse, like savage wolves on a slain lamb.
More like running.
Yeah, good call.
Suddenly, the car was surrounded.
Leon, we gotta back up.
Half a dozen of them. No way out.
Hold that.
They say when you die, you see a light. In the rear view mirror,
There, get out. Get out now!
only that light turned out to be an out-of-control monster truck determined to crush us like a raging bull. And it did. I was sure I would not survive this, but there I was, still alive, stumbling out of the car like a toddler, not a second too late. Just to realize that this was far from over. Sometimes life just keeps pulling you on your feet so it can punch you in the face again. Or in this case, throw you right into the fire.
Claire, you okay? stay here. It's not safe.
Go on ahead. I'll meet you at the station.
I'll be there. This is out of control.
There I was in a city purged by infernal fire, but still rotten to its core. Forging ahead past wrecked cars, burning pits and walking corpses. Still,
Shit.
not giving up on this city.
It's everybody. They've all turned.
Finally, I found my destination.
There it is. The station.
The parking lot of the Raccoon police station was in complete mayhem, but the gate was still intact. And the lever heavy enough to keep the undead bodies out and my hope alive.
Hello? Is anybody here?
Police station looked clean. Hall was abandoned, but not too wrecked. Ammunition lying around. 11 bullets versus an entire army. Computer still running, but CCTV just showed empty hallways.
There has to be someone here.
A police officer on Camp 4. Shots fired. Corpse still walking.
Not good.
David! Marvin! You there? I found a way out! It's in here! Send reinforcements! East hallway!
I gotta find that guy.
East hallway was just to the right, but I had to be careful. A hastily handwritten sign on a roll-up door said, "Keep out." So I started there. Pulled the lever. Got stuck. Down on my knees 'twas then. On the other side waited more bloodshed, and a gazing abandoned hallway leading into darkness.
Okay.
With the fuse blown, there was just the peering cone of my flashlight parting me from the darkness, revealing a pinboard for missing persons who would probably never show up again. The silence soaked into my bones.
You got this.
When the hallway was blocked, I needed to find another way. The room was abandoned, the door barricaded, and another body on the ground, but dead for good. Or so it seemed. At least the lights worked here. But there was nothing to be found except for another round of bullets. I had to force my way through the hallway then. After the most welcome light, the darkness seemed even more intense. The bathrooms, source of the flooding. Clogged toilet. You do not want to imagine that smell. It was kind of unreal walking past everyday coffee machines and right around the corner into a massacre. When all of a sudden,
Open up! Hurry! Open up! Open this goddamn door! I'll get you out! Please!
the roll-up door just jammed 1 foot above the ground, so I had to drag him out.
Give me your other hand!
Too late. What I dragged out was only the torso. The officer bleeding out within seconds. But that thing on the other side snapped me back to reality before I could lose myself in guilt. I grabbed the blood-stained notebook. The pages revealed a hand-drawn map with a hidden underground tunnel out. And strange drawings, like Egyptian hieroglyphs. Time to head back to the main hall. I took a step back, the desk between me and that thing smashing the door into pieces. It took 3 bullets to take it down. Another one crashed through the window. With only 2 magazines left, I paced up, hoping to outrun them.
Jesus! They're everywhere!
From that point on, I didn't shoot to kill, but to stun them long enough for me to get past them alive. Chased by undead growling, I ran blindly back to the stuck roll-up door, squeezing myself underneath it, hoping I would not end up like that unfortunate police officer. I thought I would be done, but someone very alive dragged me loose and smashed that thing's head like a watermelon with the roll-up door.
Safe. For now.
Thanks.
Marvin Branagh.
Leon Kennedy. There was another officer I couldn't...
Here. I'm sure you did what you could, Leon.
Does anyone know what started this?
Not a clue. But honestly, all you need to know is that this place will eat you alive if you aren't careful.
Yeah, well, I was supposed to start last week, and I got a call to stay away. I wish I'd come here sooner.
You're here now, Leon. That's all that matters.
Okay, Lieutenant? I'm ready.
Hopefully you'll be able to find a way out of this station. That officer you met earlier, Elliot. He thought this secret passageway might do the trick.
This is good news. We can get you to a hospital.
No, I am not the priority here.
Lieutenant, I'm not just gonna leave you here.
I'm giving you an order, rookie. You save yourself first. I'd come with you, but I'd just slow you down. Now, you'll need this.
I can't take him.
Stop. And don't make my mistake. If you see one of those things, uniform or not, you do not hesitate. You take it out, or you run. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Even with that combat knife, it just didn't feel right. Did you ever have to make a choice that hard? I wasn't only leaving a police officer. I was leaving a human being for sure death. Maybe even a husband, father, brother. That was all I could think about while making my way upstairs, past these venerable statues that... Wait a minute. Hadn't I seen that before? I arranged the hieroglyphs correctly, and out came a golden medallion depicting a ferocious lion. Tarnished, but well crafted. I knew where to place this medallion, so I rushed back down to the big statue downstairs. One medallion in, 2 more to go.
So Elliot was right.
Yeah, but the passage isn't open yet.
Time to explore the rest of the station. A safety door was blocking the way. Certainly for a reason. Never felt a green light so wrong as when I turned the safety switch.
This is not how I imagined my first day.
The leisurely lifting door sounded like a gate to hell. My hollow steps echoing loudly. Deep scratchings on the wall. The shallow silence afterwards crept up on me, like the cold breath of death itself. A deceased officer's radio. Reluctantly, I reached out for his hat, turned it, to reveal a horrifying mask of death. His face ripped open, the jaw barely connected to the sinews. This was something bigger.
What?
As I turned around to follow that sound, my flashlight caught the corpse of another officer hanging dead from the ceiling. More blood covering the floor. I tried to access the evidence locker, but it was jammed. I dashed to the side when the hanging corpse fell down just inches before me, the face torn gruesomely. More scratches on the wall, like giant claw marks. The wind was howling through the shattered window, flapping the torn barrier tape, rain pouring inside, wetting the floor. Another one outside, banging against the window. As it shattered, I began running blindly into the next room. A police report on the table said they were turning the station to a temporary shelter due to the massive sudden outbreak. On September 25th, one of the refugees had attacked them in the middle of the night, resulting in the death of one officer and injuring 3 others. On September 26th, a mob had attacked the station, resulting in a number of casualties and a lockdown. At that point, the police station had already been cut off from the outside world. That explained why we hadn't heard of them. On September 27th, everything fell into disarray with another clash. Only a handful survived. When the door burst into splinters, I was already out of the window back in the hallway. Gunpowder might come in handy when I ran out of bullets. At that time, there wasn't a lot of ammo left around the station, so I had to make good use of any gunpowder I found and combine them in the right way. A safe, to which I didn't know the combination yet.
I can do this. You bastard.
Another police report read that on September 28th, there were only 4 officers left. No weapons, no ammo, and too many skirmishers had drained them mentally and physically. They were already searching for the secret tunnel then. Elliot, the officer that was torn apart in front of me, had been determined to find it. Apparently, they had set up something like a welcome order for me. My very special case was to unlock my desk. Would have been funny if things hadn't turned apocalyptic. The key, the initials of their first names, and the warning that Scott wouldn't give it away easily. A nice way to connect to them. Way nicer than watching them die. David, Elliot, Neil, Marvin,
What the hell?
Marvin, Rita, the PS had been right. The last one really wasn't eager to give his name. When he just wouldn't die, I took chances on the lock. My name on the desk felt wrong, but the Mac came in handy. This game was supposed to connect me to them, and yet I found myself escaping my new colleague as soon as possible.
Shit.
Damn, these guys are more affectionate than a companion dog. Somehow I started to like them, and felt sorry that I hadn't had the chance to meet them in person. If I had, I could have asked them for the codes. Eyeing those lockers, I felt like a hungry tiger. Found a note. Someone had removed the keys on purpose, which meant I had to go back to the lion's den, where the shadows were lurking and the undead were walking. There was a lot of useful stuff lying around, but I had to choose carefully what I put in my limited pocket space. The funny thing about police stations is that nothing seems illegal there. Not even medical herbs lying around. Apparently someone had found a way to combine the blue, green, and red type in powerful ways to treat diseases and constitution. I definitely had to make space in my pockets, so that locker came in handy. Some tiny voice kept yelling at me that I better develop that film roll I found. That commemorative photo didn't tell me anything at the moment, though. I had already seen that these things could break the windows like cake frosting, so I decided to be better safe than sorry. The real messy thing with living corpses is you never know when they're dead for good. The thought of it still gives me the creeps. Walking these empty floors, I started to understand the terror of the surviving policeman. Being trapped in an antique building full of walking corpses gives you paranoia. You start seeing limbs in every shadow. Expect enemies in every corner. Except for a goddamn locker. It's strange how I didn't feel anything like a thief looting these abandoned lockers. This place just messed with my mind. What's the use in a portable safe if you have the instructions lying around just like that? At least, it helped me figuring out how to open the lockers. Not that I was any good at it. It was more like trial and error, but I had all the time in the world. And a lot of patience. Gladly, that small part looked very much like one of the missing keys to the locker's room. The second floor was occupied for the moment, so I took my way down again. Fine for me anyways. So much for the wooden planks.
Just great.
I don't recall when it happened exactly, but at some point I'd started questioning my beliefs in life and death and how many bullets it took to damage a brain for good. If this night taught me anything, it's when you hear them, you start running and hope you're not running right into them. The building was even more devastated in the second floor, and with the gruesome groans piercing the silence, it was hardly bearable. You know what became my nemesis that day? Lockers. Who even does that? How about the good old invention called keys? Speaking of the devil.
What in the...
It might have been due to my paranoia and the shadows and creepy floors and stuff, but that thing didn't look like anything I'd seen before, nor something I was eager to meet. Continuing down these decayed corridors, my mind was wrapping itself around giant claw marks and torn jaws, until I forced myself to focus. Now was not the time to freak out. Nor would it ever be again. I found some guy's scribblings, probably one of the refugees sheltered here, hating about the corporates and how he wanted to kill them. I got more disgusted by the minute. Some people deserve to die. Apparently, he hadn't been able to finish the job. Good for me.
Leon, it's Marvin. I need you back here ASAP.
Are you okay, Marvin?
I've got something to show you. It's important.
Copy that. I'll be right there.
Being back in the light literally felt like heaven. I didn't even care about the corpse feasting on another one. I was so messed up. I think that's what happens to you when you find yourself in the middle of a nightmare. That was getting worse by the minute. Finally, the second statue, second coin. Unicorn. Just as unreal as the situation. The bad thing about these things is they move unpredictably. The good is, you can outrun them easily. Marvin looked bad, but still alive.
There you are. Come here. Take a look.
Yes! I knew she'd make it.
You know her?
Yeah. Name's Claire. I came into town with her.
You can get to that courtyard. Through the second floor. East side.
I'm on it. Thanks, Lieutenant.
East. That meant back to where I came from. Back to where that creature climbed walls and sliced throats. Isn't electricity the best invention mankind has ever made? I sure felt like that when entering that cozily lit office. A piece of heaven and a pile of shit. That pamphlet about Raccoon City taught me that a police station had once been an art museum. That explained the ancient statues and structures. Just a few blocks away, there was an orphanage. I could only imagine what happened to the children there. After that heavenly light, the darkness felt even more dense, more depressing. Just the sound of the chopper outside was calming. It needs living people to fly those, so someone must have been still alive in the city. That marble emperor statue. I had seen that before, on one of the pictures. The magazine said it was holding a red ruby shrouded in legends. It also warned to approach with caution, for devilry lies in beauty's shadow. As legends tell, the jewel had turned caring nobles into despots more terrible than Caligula. For it had been bathed in blood and would steal the hearts of people everywhere with luster. I didn't believe that, but still, approaching the statue, I felt the deep urge to obtain the jewel. On the photograph, the statue had held a book, and the one I had found in the library fit in just perfectly. It felt almost magical obtaining the scepter. And maybe the legends were true. Not only did I feel powerful, but actually very alive. Even more so as the calming sound of the chopper was still outside. A candle of hope in the darkness. That got extinguished in this very second.